In this video, we're going to take a look at the Ahrefs homepage, go through it, and try to find some things that you could implement on your own website in order to boost your conversion rate. So this is the first type of video like this that we're doing, but if there's another homepage that you want us to review, go ahead and leave it in the comments. So first things first, without further ado, I want to take a look at the H1 in the paragraph below it. That is one of the most important things on any website. Of course, it is the text that's being read more than anything. And I haven't even read it yet, but typically, when it comes to your H1 in the paragraph below it, what you want to do is finish the sentence for your users, I want to, in the H1, and then go ahead and back it up with the paragraph below. So, obviously, grammatically, that can change a little bit, but like here, for example, I want to make my business discoverable in search, AI, and beyond. It passes the test perfectly. Guys, I learned that a few years back in my career, and honestly, it has been by far the most important tip when it comes to copywriting. This passes the test. I would say this is a phenomenal H1. Below that, see what people want, fix what holds you back, ship what wins, and track your growth. That's what a marketing platform should do. Okay, this last sentence right here, and of course the M dash, definitely written by AI, but anyways, besides the point, this right here is telling me what I want to do, which is true. I want to make my business discoverable. That's why I would use this product. And then down here, it's telling me I can see what people want. I can fix what holds me back. Okay, so awesome. And it's very clear this is going to help me solve my goals. That being said, it's not very clear as to actually how it is going to help me do that. Another thing that I notice here that is pretty cool is that it shows 19,000 users have joined in the last 7 days. I think that is a really great thing to add, just because a lot of people are immediately going to click from here, from that first section on the homepage on your site. So we're kind of backing it up a little bit with social proof right there. And I think that is really smart. Moving down, we have a demo right here. And that I think is so important. You've got people excited with this H1 and with this paragraph. Now you have to show them exactly how it's going to work. Don't talk more. People want to actually see how it's going to work. So what we have here is, I guess, different video demos. That is awesome. And there's a couple of different things that I can see right there. Really solid hero section. Below there, we have some customer logos, which are, massive companies. I think everyone knows most of these companies. And something else that I noticed just as I was moving down is over here. So I do sticky nav bars on my sites all the time. That is nothing new. But the sign up button stays sticky while the rest of the nav bar stays. And I actually think that is really smart, because if your nav bar keeps following you down, then people are, of course, likely to click on one of those options. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. However, I mean, hey, what you want people to do is sign up and buy your product. So what they're doing here is basically that option is following you around, whereas everything else you have to scroll to the top. I think that's really smart, and I think that is definitely worthy of an A/B test. So moving down, we have some tab sections here. Honestly, I don't quite love this layout, but that could just be personal preference. If they tested this and it's working well, then good for them. But we're kind of showing you different ways that you can use the product. So nothing too big to say there. I think every site has something like that. And moving down, we have an AI section. So this is something that I think every brand is kind of looking at right now and wondering how they should implement. I see a lot of companies that right off the bat go ahead and add some AI features, and then they put in their hero like AI native, AI first. Don't do that, guys. I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea at all. Your product is your product. Go ahead and showcase what makes it good. Don't just try to ride the AI wave. That being said, depending on what you are, and especially with Ahrefs, which is SEO, which is an industry that is rapidly changing, I do think this is really smart to kind of quickly address this is what we're doing for you to help your business thrive in an AI world. And so they showcase that you can track your brand visibility, help get AI to see it better. And I think that's really smart. Nice little animation here showing the AI content level as well. So I think this is a really good section. This right here, here's the thing. I don't know what this means. And a lot of companies do this. They have something that is kind of big. Their executives are talking about it a lot. And so they just go ahead and slap it up on their homepage. I don't think this is very smart. Lead with data that sees further, faster, and deeper. I don't know why this matters. That being said, I may not necessarily be their target market, even though we are Ahrefs customers. So I would not recommend doing that. Make sure your entire homepage is catered to your general customer, and then you can lead them into other pages, perhaps not with a full screen section like this. Looks pretty cool though, I will give it that. And then down here we have a section that I do really, really like. Here's the thing, if you have a more complicated product and you have numerous different types of target markets, it can be really hard to speak to them all on the homepage. So you might be wondering how to do that. You might be wondering what kind of wording you should use so that you're not excluding anyone. It's almost impossible. I hate to break it to you. And so I think this is a really, really great way of doing that. You're just kind of immediately saying, hey, whatever you do, we're going to help you. And then after that, we have clear explanations for each role. So let's say, I am a product marketer. You can see right here, uncover competitor positioning, monitor market shifts. I think this is a really, really smart section. And below that, some stuff for enterprise. Any company looking to sell to enterprise, it's a good idea to have an enterprise section explaining some stuff that you do for them. This isn't selling to me, but again, I am not the target market. I think this is really smart because again, even if this section is going to drop the conversion rate for everyone else, it's going to boost it for enterprises. And I'm assuming an enterprise contract with Ahrefs costs a lot of money. So very smart section right here. Then we have a whole bunch of different resources. Again, I think this is really smart. It's also really smart for just internal linking. They're linking to everything directly from their homepage, which has a ton of authority. So good section right here. It can move people along. That being said, just be wary that, someone going to the academy or YouTube or something like that is also not signing up, and you want to make sure people sign up. So just be aware of that. We've got some statistics. We have a community section. I think community is a central part of any product. If you don't have a community, build a community. If you do have a community, advertise it on your homepage. That's something I do with literally every product that I am working with. So definitely do that. Then we have some testimonials, and this I think is also really smart because, like I said, it's hard to find testimonials that are going to speak to the exact type of customer you want, especially when you have a whole bunch of different types of customers. So in this case, we have agencies, content marketers, e-commerce, enterprises, pro SEOs, and SaaS. So the beautiful thing about here is that the Ahrefs team didn't look and say which testimonials are going to speak to everyone. Because if you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. So they took very specific people in very specific job titles, and now anyone can go ahead and click to see testimonials that are relevant to them. I think that is an extremely smart way of showcasing your testimonials. And then down here, right before the footer and coming up to the end of this video, we have a call to action, which once again shows how many people signed up. And something that I find interesting is they have sign up and then they have start for free. I don't quite know what the difference between either of these things is, and I don't know why they have both of them. Usually I would think you'd have a sign up or a call to action followed by like a learn more, something that is going to answer people's questions if they're not quite ready. However, and with everything that we've reviewed on this page, what works for Ahrefs may or may not work for you. I would recommend that you go through this video and take a list of things that Ahrefs, which is a massive company, if you don't know them, they are huge, take a list of the things that they are doing and compare it to things that you are doing. And then go ahead and run some A/B tests on your site where you try each one to see which one is going to work best. Just because it works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you, but it is a big indicator, especially if you're in a similar industry. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if there's any other homepage that you want us to review, and see you in the next one. Have a great day.